Welcome to the world of rare coins, where a single dime can be worth a fortune. Today, we're looking at the top 3 most expensive Roosevelt dimes ever sold, tiny coins with incredible stories and astonishing value. Stick around, because you won't want to miss these amazing finds. Let's get started. Ever wondered if there's a fortune hiding in your loose change? Maybe the coins rattling around in your car or resting at the bottom of an old drawer could be worth more than you ever imagined. Sometimes, the smallest, most ordinary-looking coins carry extraordinary secrets. Today, we're starting with one such coin, a coin that looks just like any other dime you've ever spent. But don't blink, because this tiny piece of metal might just be worth a life-changing amount of money. It's a dime that slipped past the eyes of mint inspectors, a dime that shouldn't exist, and one that has turned collectors' heads for nearly 3 decades. This is the mysterious 1996 Roosevelt dime with a hidden error that makes it one of the most valuable modern coins in American history. The Roosevelt dime has been a part of everyday life for generations. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, it carries a design that's become instantly recognizable: Roosevelt's left-facing portrait on the front, and on the back, a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by branches of oak and olive for strength and peace. It's simple, timeless, and elegant. Most people don't think twice when they see a dime. It's small, silver-colored, light in your hand, and barely worth noticing. But sometimes, within those everyday coins, something goes wrong, and in the world of minting, even the smallest mistake can turn an ordinary coin into a priceless rarity. To understand how the 1996 dime became special, we need to go back to how coins are made. Every coin starts as a blank, called a planchet. The U.S. Mint uses massive presses that strike these blanks with thousands of pounds of pressure, imprinting the designs from 2 metal dies, one for the front, one for the back. Before those dies go into production, they're carefully prepared, engraved, and given one very important mark, the mint mark. The mint mark tells us where a coin was made. For Philadelphia, it's a small letter, P, placed on the right side of Roosevelt's neck, just above the date. Denver has a D, San Francisco an S, and West Point, when used, carries a W. In 1996, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime, the U.S. Mint even released a special W dime from West Point in collector sets. But while everyone was paying attention to that special release, something strange was happening in Philadelphia, something that would give birth to one of the rarest dimes ever made. Somehow, one of the dies used in Philadelphia was never given its mint mark. Maybe it was a momentary lapse during preparation, or maybe it was human error that no one caught. But whatever the cause, that die went into production, striking a batch of 1996 dimes with no P mint mark at all. At first, nobody noticed. Millions of dimes flow through the minting process every day. They're bagged, boxed, shipped, and circulated across the country. One missing letter on a tiny dime. It's easy to imagine how that went unnoticed. But then, as collectors and sharp-eyed spenders began checking their change, reports started to surface, dimes from 1996 missing the Philadelphia P. What at first seemed like a curiosity soon turned into a national numismatic event. The U.S. Mint confirmed that, yes, a genuine batch of 1996 Roosevelt dimes had been struck without the P. And that's when the hunt began. Coin collectors began tearing through rolls of dimes, inspecting every 1996 they could find. Dealers were flooded with calls from people hoping they'd stumbled upon one of the rarest dimes in circulation. Professional graders soon authenticated several examples, and their findings changed everything. Unlike some error coins that looked damaged or imperfect, the 1996 no-P dime looked absolutely normal. The strike was clean, the design sharp, the metal flawless, except for that one missing mint mark. It was a coin that defied logic, perfect in every way except for one tiny detail that made it priceless. The error is believed to have come from a single die used at the Philadelphia Mint. When the die was created, it missed the step where the P was added. Once it went into service, it struck thousands of coins before being replaced. But only a handful of those error coins have ever surfaced, which means most of them either remain undiscovered or were lost to circulation long ago. Imagine that moment. You're sorting through your spare change. Maybe you're rolling coins for the bank, or checking your pocket after buying coffee. You see a 1996 dime and, out of curiosity, take a closer look. The date looks right, the design's the same as always, but wait. Something's missing. There's no P. Your heart starts to race. Could it be? Could this little dime, worth only 10 cents, actually be one of the rarest coins of the modern era? That's the magic of the 1996 era dime, it doesn't shout for attention. It hides in plain sight. You could hold it, spend it, drop it in a vending machine, and never realize that you just handled a small fortune. The market for error coins can be unpredictable, but rarity and demand drive everything. With only a handful of 1996 no-P dimes known to exist, and the error never repeated, collectors began competing fiercely to add one to their collections. In some sales, pristine, high-grade examples, flawless in strike and luster, have reached eye-popping prices. One particular specimen, considered among the finest known, stunned the collecting world when it sold for tens of thousands of dollars. And yes, this small, shiny dime, struck in 1996 without its mint mark, has sold for an incredible $57,000. Now let's move on to the second coin, a dime that looks so ordinary, yet hides one of the most fascinating minting mistakes of the modern era. This is the 2004 P. Roosevelt dime, a small coin with a story that's anything but small. At first glance, it seems like any dime you might get as change at the store, but this one carries a secret that only a handful of collectors have ever discovered. The year 2004 was a busy one for the U.S. Mint. Billions of coins were being produced across the country, from pennies to quarters, to keep up with circulation demands. Yet, somehow, among all that precision, a few dimes left the Philadelphia Mint with a flaw that would soon make them legends in the coin-collecting world. Unlike older coins whose rarity comes from age or silver content, the 2004 P dime's value comes from a production error that almost no one noticed at first. The P mint mark, indicating it was struck in Philadelphia, was where it should be. The design looked perfect. Everything appeared normal, until one collector spotted something bizarre under magnification. The coin's features didn't align the way they were supposed to. The inscriptions and Roosevelt's profile seemed slightly off, as if the image had doubled faintly. This wasn't just wear or damage, it was an error known as a double die, one of the most coveted mistakes in all of coin collecting. A double die happens during the die-making process, when the hub that imprints the coin's design strikes the die more than once in slightly different positions. When that die is used to strike coins, every single one it produces carries the same double design. The result? Letters, numbers, and even parts of the portrait appear shadowed, almost like a ghost image layered beneath the surface. Most people, of course, never noticed. Dimes are small, and these details are delicate. But for those who pay attention, that tiny doubling transformed a 10-cent coin into something extraordinary. Once collectors realized what they were looking at, word spread quickly. Dealers began verifying examples, grading services started listing the error, and prices began to rise. The 2004 P error dime comes from a modern minting period when errors like this were almost unheard of. By 2004, the minting process was highly precise. So when the 2004 P double die dime appeared, it shocked even experienced numismatists. Imagine finding one of these coins in your change. You flip it over, notice the year 2004, the P mint mark looks normal, and everything seems fine, until a faint doubling near the date catches your eye. You tilt it toward the light, squint a little, and there it is. That shadowed outline that shouldn't exist. In that moment, you realize you're not just holding a dime, you're holding a piece of minting history. Collectors often describe that feeling as a mixture of disbelief and excitement, a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry incredible stories. You start to inspect it from every angle, noticing how the letters in Liberty appear layered, almost vibrating, and how the numbers of the date seem to echo slightly. This is the kind of detail that turns casual coin collectors into obsessive treasure hunters. When the first confirmed examples appeared on the market, prices started in the hundreds, then climbed into the thousands as demand grew. Every time one was authenticated in near-perfect condition, the excitement reignited. Only a microscopic fraction of coins carry this doubling, making the odds of finding one in circulation almost impossible. Over the years, collectors have come to see the 2004 dime not just as an error coin, but as a symbol of modern rarity, proof that valuable coins don't have to be ancient or made of precious metal. Sometimes, they're the same coins you see every day, carrying hidden secrets only a trained eye can spot. These coins also carry a sense of human story. They are proof that even in an era of highly automated machinery, small mistakes can happen. Each double die coin is like a fingerprint of the minting process, a one-of-a-kind anomaly preserved in metal. And in a world where millions of coins are churned out daily, finding one is like discovering a needle in a haystack. Collectors also prize these dimes for the challenge they present. Unlike large silver coins or old gold pieces, spotting the doubling requires careful observation, patience, and sometimes magnification. It's a subtle treasure hunt, one that rewards those who look closer than the average person. The thrill of spotting it before anyone else adds to the coin's mystique. And for many collectors, it's this combination of rarity and challenge that makes the 2004 dime unforgettable. And when one of these pristine 2004 Roosevelt dimes crossed the auction block, its final hammer price stunned everyone, selling for an incredible $38,000. $38,000 for a dime you could mistake for any other. These rare 2004 dimes stand as proof that modern minting is not immune to mystery, and that the next great discovery might still be sitting quietly in someone's pocket. So, as you go through your change, keep an eye out for that subtle doubling. The difference might be almost invisible, but its value is anything but. Because if you happen to spot one of those elusive 2004 Roosevelt dimes with its hidden flaw, you might just be holding a tiny treasure. And that's the magic of coin collecting, even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprises. Up next, we have the third and final coin of today's exciting finds, the 2015 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it seems like a typical dime from recent years, shiny, small, and familiar. But as any keen collector will tell you, sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins hold the most extraordinary secrets. And this 2015 dime is one of those hidden treasures. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a year when millions of dimes were being produced for everyday use. It's easy to assume that modern minting eliminates mistakes, but even in this era of precision machinery, small errors can slip through. And that's exactly what makes this coin so fascinating to collectors. The most intriguing thing about this dime is its condition and a subtle minting error that is not immediately noticeable. The strike is crisp, the surfaces are clean, and the details of Roosevelt's profile are exceptionally sharp, almost as if this coin was frozen in time, untouched since the day it left the mint. When a coin like this appears in such near-perfect condition, it becomes a rare find for anyone who appreciates quality. Now, what makes this 2015 dime stand out isn't just its condition. Careful inspection reveals a faint but unusual doubling around the date and some of the inscriptions. It's not glaring or obvious at first, but under magnification, the doubling is undeniable. Coins with such subtle errors are incredibly interesting because they remind us that even in the modern minting era, mistakes can create something unique and highly collectible. Collectors love coins like this because they offer both a challenge and a reward. Spotting the doubling takes patience and attention to detail, turning the simple act of inspecting a coin into a mini treasure hunt. Holding it, examining it under the light, you start to notice the tiniest imperfections and variations that set it apart from the thousands of other dimes minted that year. What also makes this coin special is its story. Every small error, every minor doubling, tells a tale of the minting process itself. It shows that even in an age dominated by machines and mass production, human oversight, or the smallest mechanical variation, can create a one-of-a-kind coin. That's a story that adds character and intrigue to a coin that might otherwise be considered ordinary. The 2015 P. Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of why collectors should never overlook modern coins. Many people assume that coins made in recent years can't be valuable or interesting, but that's far from the truth. A coin's condition, rarity, and even subtle errors can make it highly sought after, sometimes in ways you wouldn't expect from a dime in your pocket. It's also a lesson in patience and observation. Not every error is easy to spot, and not every collector will recognize the significance at first glance. But for those willing to study their coins carefully, who take the time to examine the smallest details, the reward is the thrill of discovery, and perhaps, the realization that they are holding something extraordinary in their hand. If you happen to come across one of these coins in circulation or in a collection, it's worth a second look. That faint doubling, the exceptional condition, and the sharp details make it stand out quietly but undeniably. Even if you're not an expert, paying attention to such details can turn a simple coin into a potentially valuable find. It's a reminder that treasures can appear in the most unassuming places. Collectors often remark on the excitement of spotting modern errors like this. There's something uniquely satisfying about finding a coin that appears normal at first but reveals its secret upon closer inspection. It's a reminder that coin collecting is as much about observation and curiosity as it is about history and value. This dime also serves as a bridge between the past and present. Unlike older coins with centuries of history, modern era coins like this one remind us that rarity and interest aren't tied solely to age. Even coins minted just a few years ago can carry the thrill of discovery, the excitement of uniqueness, and the joy of spotting something others might miss. The 2015 P. Roosevelt dime may not shout its value out loud, but its condition, its subtle error, and its rarity quietly hint at something special. And for many collectors, that quiet significance is even more exciting than coins that are obviously rare or valuable. It's a puzzle, a challenge, and a reward all rolled into one small, silver disc. So next time you handle a dime, take a moment to look closely. Notice the sharpness of the strike, examine Roosevelt's features, and watch for any faint doubling. Even if you never thought of modern coins as collectible, this 2015 P dime serves as proof that surprises can hide in plain sight. Its charm lies not just in its metal or its date, but in the story it carries, the story of a coin that quietly defies expectations. This coin could be worthy because of its condition and subtle error, so check carefully before you spend or overlook it. And that's the thrill of modern coin collecting, the next hidden treasure could be right in your pocket, waiting to be discovered. Even the smallest details, like a tiny shadow on the letters or a slight shift in the numbers, can transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. The magic of coins like this lies in the discovery, the wonder of spotting what others might miss, and the connection it gives you to the minting process itself. In the end, collecting is as much about the story each coin tells as it is about any value it might hold. If you enjoyed exploring these amazing dimes and discovering their hidden secrets, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another treasure hunt with us. We love sharing these rare finds and stories with fellow collectors and curious viewers like you, so thank you for watching and joining us on today's journey through modern coin magic.